Guys, I don't want you to feel alone during the process of setting up Mr. Professional, your brand new high quality, super attractive DSLR photo booth. And so this video right here, I'm going to show you guys how to assemble Mr. Professional because I want you guys to always feel the support even after the sale. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then on the second part of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over each accessory, each part that you need, which is only a few parts for the guts of your DSLR photo booth. I don't want you guys to feel lost in any way when it comes to your photo booth production. So that'll be the second part of the video. The third part of the video, we're gonna dive into the flash head. Now, I went from a very expensive flash head, Explorer 600, to a very affordable Godox 300. I'm gonna go into the details of setting up the flash head, the trigger, and basically any cables that you need for the camera that I am using. And you can actually use very similar cables and adapters for the camera that you may be using. So you guys won't feel alone at all during this entire setup process. So get ready for the compliments at events. People will flock to Mr. Professional. Reason why is because consumers, people are smart, all right? And so they're used to the iPad booth. And so it's exciting because the iPad booth, you get your group of friends, you do the GIFs, it's fun. But what happens when those GIFs go from a 12 megapixel camera to a 24 megapixel resolution? Those GIFs now are not only entertaining and fun because of the motion and the instant memory capture, but the quality behind it. Trust me when I say this, this happened to every event that I've done with Mr. Professional. They're gonna bring their friends and family because they're not used to taking high quality GIFs. So just to put that out there, trust me, you'll see exactly what I'm saying during your first event. So congratulations on your purchase. Let's go ahead and dive into the video right now. Let's focus on the main parts. We want to take this power cable that you will find, and we want to get the female and feed it right into the bottom of the base. Now you want to pull it until you just have a little bit of slack left, like this. The next thing you want to do is you want to grab both pillars, and you're going to see that one has a narrow top, which is this one, and this one has a wider bottom. So we'll go ahead and feed the cable right in here like this, all the way through. And then we're gonna grab that cable and pull it out. And we're gonna align this just perfectly without pinching that cable, like right in there, like that. Sweet. Now, we wanna grab this T-tool. With this T-tool, we're gonna go ahead and fasten this right here so that this can latch on to the base. Now, as I'm spinning this in, all you guys gotta do is just apply a little pressure. You don't want it on super tight, just enough. All right, so let's go ahead and continue feeding the cable to the next pillar, but we're gonna do it in a different way. We're gonna start off with the narrow end and feed it right in here like this. And we're gonna feed it all the way through. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing here, just to add a little twist here and a little twist here as well. So you guys want to grab the head now. There's an opening here in the bottom. We're gonna feed the cable right in there. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's feed this end right in here like this. And remember, the head is pretty light, so now we just got to make sure we align this right, almost, boom, right in there. Cool. Let's take these screws right here and let's fasten the head to the rest of the body. You guys are going to see that there are two holes, all right? So first go ahead and slide one in there, screw it in there, and then have the second one align as well. And then what we do is when we have both of them on there already, then is when we want to start tightening them both up. So right to left or left to right, whatever you decide, just make sure it's nice and tight. And congratulations, you have now the assembly of the bottom base, the two pillars, and the head. So let's grab these two right here and connect them. just like that. The next thing I like doing, guys, is I like feeding the extra slack right down the middle. As you guys can see how I'm doing that right now. Congratulations, this is the first step. Now let's move on to the stuff that's a little bit more fun for me, and that's checking out the guts. Let's go ahead and jump into that right now. All right, congratulations on getting step 1 completed. So this right here is step number 2 of the video. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you need for the guts, and I'm going to try to simplify everything just as I have with the hardware. So you're going to need an Axis, right? The Axis is going to act as the hub. So this right here goes connected to the iPad, and then we have a Type-C on this side and a Type-C on this side, also an HDMI, and for a mini SIM card, and then for a SD card, not a SIM card, but a micro SD card. We don't worry about these. All we're gonna worry about is the 2 Type-Cs, okay? So this is gonna go connected to your iPad, and I'm gonna show you guys here everything as far as the connections go, and then we're gonna step over to the actual photo booth shell and then put everything together, and then we're gonna just do it step by step so you guys don't feel lost at all. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna connect it to the iPad like this, okay? So this is how it would be if the iPad was already on the faceplate along with the Axis. So the Axis allows the iPad to get power and data from the camera. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a data cable. So I have a data cable Type-C to Type-C. And then I'm gonna grab the Axis, and on the Axis, you'll see, guys, that there's a USB-C data, and that's where we wanna connect it. We want it to connect it to where it says data. So I'm gonna connect it right in here, okay? So it's connected to the Axis. This is data. This opposite end of the Type-C is gonna go into my camera so that my camera can send that signal to the iPad. So right here, you guys will be able to see that there's gonna be a Type-C on your cameras, all right? So if you have a camera connected into your Type-C port, like that. Okay, so now the camera is basically going to be communicating with the iPad through the Axis right here. And all these items, guys, all these cables are gonna be listed in the description box below, so you guys don't spend too much time looking for the perfect cable or what gadget is David talking about. This is basically the easiest way you guys can get going right away. So now that you have your Canon or your camera, your DSLR camera connected to the Axis, it's gonna communicate with the iPad. Next thing we wanna wonder is, well, damn, Dave, how are we gonna give power to the iPad? We're gonna pretend that this cool power bank is the actual booth and it's distributing power, because we're gonna pull power from the actual booth, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that in a few seconds. But for now, we'll pretend that this is the photo booth shell that's gonna give us power. So we're gonna go ahead and connect from Type-C to Type-C, another Type-C to Type-C cable. We're gonna connect it to the Axis, and we're gonna go ahead and insert it where it says USB-C PD. Now the PD is for power distribution. So we're gonna go ahead and connect it right in here. Okay, and now my iPad just lit up because now it's taking the charge. So the power supply is sending power to my iPad, okay? The next thing you guys want is a dummy battery for your camera. I'm using a Canon R100, and this dummy battery is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna insert the battery into the camera, and then the opposite cable right here, the other Type-C, will go into a 30-watt adapter, which will go connected like this, and then go connected to your power strip inside of your photo booth. But remember, we're pretending that this right now is our photo booth. So I'll go ahead and connect it into our photo booth this way right here. All right, so now we're getting power to the camera, to the iPad. Let's go ahead and insert the dummy battery into your camera. We're gonna open up your camera, then we're gonna insert your battery, your dummy battery, gently until it clicks. You guys will see that right in here, there's a slot where you can move your cable going down, and then you can seal it. Cool. So now, guys, check out the structure of this. Okay, we have the iPad connected to the Axis, and the Axis is feeding the iPad information from the camera. The camera is connected to the Axis. That's the data cable, type C to type C. And then there's power going to the Axis from the power distribution right over here. So let's go ahead and then go up to the booth right now and then put piece by piece together to give you guys that extra guidance on how it's gonna look actually in Mr. Professional. Let's go ahead and do that right now. So within your order, you guys are gonna get a faceplate. Okay, so this faceplate has 4 butterfly screws, as you guys can see right here. And so what we want to do is we want to grab the iPad and we want to go ahead and put it right in here like this. Okay, I'm going to put the iPad right in here and take these screws and put one here, another one here, right here, and right here. Now I do want to say, guys, that I leave the faceplate in the end and also the iPad on Mr. Professional upon transport. This allows me to have all the connections already pre-connected, and it also saves me a ton of time on the setup, and also makes my photo booth attendance process when it comes to the setup just a little easier. So as you guys can see, everything's connected. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we're gonna need these bad boys right here. So these come in the bag, and you guys are gonna get a couple extra ones just in case you lose one at an event and you can't find it. Now when you guys receive the booth directly from the manufacturer, you know that we threw in an extra cable that goes from the USB to a type C. Don't even use that cable. You don't need to use that cable. It doesn't have enough power. Instead, what I want you guys to do is take a type C to type C charging cable and connect it to the type C right in here. So this is the small one, and then we're gonna feed it right in here like this, okay? So right here, guys, when we connect the DSLR photo booth into a power source, we're gonna pull power from right here. Now this right here is gonna go connected to the Axis. This right here, don't even worry about it. Now before I put the faceplate on here, I'm gonna take the Axis product and I'm gonna go ahead and feed it right through here. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So this end, I'm gonna go ahead and connect to the iPad. Remember, this is the Axis right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this into the iPad like that. Okay, then I'm gonna move this inside like this, that. I'm gonna take these little guys and put them in. I want you guys to know that the iPad acknowledges that there's a data cable connected to it. So you see this little blue button right there. But what we want is for the iPad to display that it's also getting power. Right now, there is no power going to Mr. Professional, but we're gonna change that right now. Now, so far when it comes to events, guys, I've been using this anchor to keep Mr. Professional full of power for the entire event. This will last you guaranteed over 4 hours if you have it connected to Mr. Professional. And so let me go ahead and connect it to the bottom. Now you can see Mr. Professional just turned on. Our DSLR booth is now grabbing some power, which is great. Let's go ahead and turn it around and look at the inside. All right, this is the inside. Right at the top, we have the landscape mount for your camera. And as we move down slowly, this right here is your power strip, where you're gonna be pulling power to power on your dummy battery that's in your camera. And right down here, we have a button. If you press this button right here, your fan is gonna turn on. There's a fan in here that dissipates the heat. The fan is right in the bottom there. It's probably gonna be difficult to see it because of the camera, but there is a fan right in there. So that fan is going to come in handy if you guys are doing a lot of events during the summer. Okay, and the next thing we want to do, guys, is I want to show you the Axis really quick. And right now it's connected to the iPad, but what we're going to do is, do you guys remember that cable that we fed through here earlier that's connected to the power now, this type C? So I'm going to connect it to the Axis where it says USB PD for power distribution, and it's going to be on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. Okay, what this is doing now is it's giving the iPad power. So if I bring you guys with me to this other side, come on through to the other side, right here, you guys will see now, boom, there's a lightning bolt. So now the battery on the iPad is not going to deplete in any way, so you guys are good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue covering the next steps. Now we're going to take our camera and our dummy battery, and we're going to go ahead and insert it into the booth. Before we do that, I want to take another part that comes with the booth, this flash rod right here, and we're going to go ahead and set it to the top of the booth. This is a piece of cake. When you guys open up the booth, you'll realize that there's an opening for you guys to just put this in, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to back up the camera a little bit and pan out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, put it right in there, take the rod, find the hole, and go ahead and start twisting until this is nice and tight. All right, so there we go. We just installed the baby pin of the camera right there. This comes with the Mr. Professional as a free gift. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last step here in the process of setting up your DSLR booth. We're gonna talk about the Godox MS300, which is what I'm using for the flash head. Reason why is because this is very affordable, only $135 for this Godox. It has an output of 300 watts. This is going to be perfect for your setup. It's light, it's compact, and I like the size of it in comparison to the other flash head I was using, which was crazy, big, convenient, but expensive. Now, when you guys order your Godox MS300, I'll put the link in the description box below. There's gonna be one more thing I want you guys to order. Well, let's just be really accurate. There's a total of two things. One is gonna be the camera flash trigger, this right here. This is gonna go on your camera. The trigger is gonna go on your camera. The receiver is gonna go connected to your Godox, okay? When you open up the items, it'll look something like this right here. Okay, this is your trigger right here. All right, these two items, you're gonna need to put batteries in here, AAA batteries right in there, and it's gonna come with a little cable like this. It's gonna go connected from here onto your Godox. All right, and then I said, let's be accurate, you're also gonna need an umbrella. So I am using a 32-inch Westcott umbrella. Reason why I love this model is because it's the perfect size. It's 32 inches, and plus it acts as a reflector, but at the same time you guys can actually remove this black part right here, and if you guys remove this, it'll look something like, ta-da, check this out. So it's the same exact model, but I removed the black top. Rosie, it's okay, baby, it's just an umbrella, don't be scared. My cockatoo here in the back, she's a little scared. Probably because of the way it's expanding. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to set it up. What you wanna do is you wanna make sure that on your receiver, you put the batteries it requires, which is AAA, and then connect the little cable right into the port that goes in here. This little cable is two different sizes. So on this one, we're gonna put the thinner one that fits in here. You can't go wrong, just make sure it fits, boom. Now, once you guys put in the batteries, make sure you turn it on. There's a little cable right here. Okay, it's turned on. This bad boy has a little button here on the top, and then this is gonna make contact with your camera.
Now you guys are gonna see on both the receiver and the trigger, there's these numerations, right? There's these levels. So just make sure that they're matching. So if these are all up, then right on this one here, they should also be all up. So this is how you kind of program it, all right? Right in here. So just make sure that these are all facing up on both ends. Next thing you want to do is you want to grab this right here and insert it into your camera, your hot shoe. All right, so let's go ahead and do that together. It's gonna go in like this. So this piece is gonna be facing the camera. It's gonna slide in, and then we want to tighten it like that. Okay. All right, we got this step out of the way. Now let's do this. Let's grab the Godox and let's go ahead and insert one of the flashes. I hope my partner here in the back doesn't get scared. So I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna feed it right in here. So it's gonna insert it like this, just like that. Next thing I want to do is I can remove this top. There's a handle right here. Press it down and remove the cover. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to walk over to my DSLR booth. Before I do that, I want to connect this to this right here. And the way you do it, guys, is you can easily do this. Grab the opposite end of the cable and connect it right back here. Let me show you guys. So there's gonna be an insert right here. So go ahead and just connect it right in there like this, where it says sync. And then this right here, what I love about this is you can just put this in here like this. All right, and now we can go and mount it on the top, like that. Cool. Now, all we really need now is we're gonna grab the power cable that the Godox comes with. It comes with a nice thick cable. I downsize on the length, but what we wanna do is we wanna go ahead and insert it right in here, like this. All right, next thing we wanna do is we wanna feed it right down here, like that. Now, here's one thing that you guys will notice about this really cool booth. I want you guys to see this. And now I can start tucking it in like this. All right, so it's tucked in. Tuck this in as well, like that. All right, as you can see, you guys, now check this out. It's lit. It turned on. The flash lamp is on. So now you guys have to determine how much power you want the Godox to put out for every flash. So right now, I keep it at 32. All right, that's where it's set at right now. And now we can actually finally get to the camera. Let's get to the camera. Let's mount the camera in there. By the way, before we do that, I want you to see this. This should communicate right away if I press this button right here. So see that? That's exactly what I want. That means that this Godox trigger and the receiver are on the same channel. I'll do it again. That's the flash you want. All right, let's go ahead and carefully insert this in here like that. And then take this and fasten it. Now check this out, guys. Look how easy to move is up and down for taller people and shorter people. So if I want to angle it down, I'll just loosen this a little bit. And once I'm happy with the angle, I'll just tighten these here on the side. And boom, it stays in place. Now remember what we talked about, how there was going to be a data cable going from the camera to the Axis? Well, here is the USB Type-C that's going to go connected to the Axis. And on the Axis, remember, it's going to go plugged in to the Type-C where it says data cable. All right, that's plugged in now. What I want to do next is I want to grab the cable now that goes connected to the dummy battery, and I want to connect it to this right here, this adapter. And so I'm gonna connect the adapter to the power strip to give the camera power. And we can be snapping away the entire night because we have a ton of power now coming. So I'll just connect it right in here like this. So now our camera is connected to the power and I can actually turn on the camera. But before I do that, I wanna tuck these cables in and I wanna go around and launch the iPad application to show you guys how that's gonna work out. So let me go around. So now, as you guys can see, I'm using Snappic for the time being, and I'm gonna go over to configure camera, and it's not showing me the camera. See that? It's only giving me the back camera, the front camera, and that's because I haven't turned on the camera yet. So let's go ahead and turn on the camera. All right, turn on the camera. There. When the camera does this, you see that how it went into a screen for a few seconds? That means it's connected to the iPad. So let's go ahead and circle back around. Okay, Canon R100, good. Start. Let's go ahead and do a GIF. Yeah, let's do a GIF and hit next. Let's start this right now. Let's do another one. Good. Last pose, I suppose. Okay. So, good. This is exactly what we wanted. All right, so as I said, Mr. Professional is perfect for any event. Today we're doing some student awards, and I want to show you guys the setup behind me. Check this out. So we have the anchor right now connected to the booth. We've been here for 3 hours, and I want you guys to see that we got another 6 hours we can continue doing. Now, the power right now is only connected to one, as you guys can see, cable right there, right? And it's powering on the iPad along with the LED light plus the camera. What did you guys think of your photo?
Oh, we love it. 10 out of 10. Yes. Right. Number one photo. It's giving vibes.
I like how you guys were like, what is this guy doing? And then I turned the camera to you, you're like, ah,